Hello and welcome to Friends That Invest. You're joined today by your host Simran Kaur. I'm a financial author and investor, and I'm here to help you learn about all things investing and personal finance. Now in this episode, I'm going to break down the 11 things that I think are not worth your time and money anymore, especially as a woman. Now, I am not going to share things that are under $200 because I'll be honest, if I'm like, hey, don't go for cheap nail polish, you're going to be like, okay, Sim, like I have better things to do than to listen to an episode about like cheap things to avoid. I'm not going to spend them. But I am here to make sure that I can save you at least $20,000, which is a lot of money to save, by telling you expensive things to not buy that either I have bought and were not worth the money, or people I know have bought and were not worth the money. And by the end of this episode, you're going to be like, oh, someone's finally admitted that the Airwrap is not worth buying. Thank you. In all seriousness, the beauty of being financially independent, as myself, is I can say whatever I want about any brand, about any product or service, because I am not financially incentivized to get you to buy it. And so I can be completely honest and open, because they're not going to send me a free gift. I don't need it. I'm okay. So that's the beauty, I guess, of being a financially independent woman and being a loudmouth woman at the same time. It's a beautiful gift. So without further ado, the first thing that is not worth spending your money on, I've already kind of hinted at it. You've heard me say it before, the Dyson Airwrap. Why would anyone spend money on this? Secondhand, I can understand, but brand new, I remember buying my Dyson. It was like $800 at the time. I wrap my hair. First of all, it takes forever just to like even get it to grab onto your hair. And then you feel really stupid, like lifting it forward and backwards. And then at the end, you're like, okay, I have curls. Okay, I have curls. Tell me why I went to a wedding and literally 2 hours into the wedding, it was an outdoor wedding, my hair was straight again. The PR machine of Dyson is so incredible because they gaslight you into, like, I went on to TikTok the next day. I was like, maybe I've done something wrong. And I don't know who's paying these girlies to be like, it's not the $800 machine. It's because you didn't put mousse in your hair. Oh my God, you like Dyson with dry hair? Like, wet your hair. So now I'm going to Chemist Warehouse with my tail between my legs and I'm buying mousse. I'm buying heat protectant spray or some other kind of spray. I'm wetting my hair. Like, I'm doing it all. I'm like, okay, maybe it was me. My apologies. I try it again. Same thing. And I just realized, I was like, I just do not have the patience for this. And I ended up going and buying like a cheap hair curler thing instead. I was like, this is, at least it might burn my hair, but at least it's curly. At least it does the job. And then my Dyson just ended up becoming like a very expensive blow dryer. And eventually I ended up selling it to an investy bestie. It was just not worth brand new the money I paid for it. And if you are on the fence about it, don't do it. Maybe get like a Shark or a secondhand one or something cheaper. But the reason why it's like heatless curls is because you need heat in your curls, and without it, it just doesn't seem to work. And now actually what's worked for me is those like things that you put on top of your head on wet hair, and then you like curl your hair around them and clip your hair and sleep with it on. Just wet hair, curled, dries curly. For the thick-haired ladies or the long-haired ladies, avoid the Dyson. It is not worth it. Now, the second thing that is not worth the money that I have bought is the red light face like LED mask. I bought the Therabody one. Look, it is nice. Yes. Does it make me feel good? Yes. Was it a splurge? Yes. Does it work? Maybe. But you have to do it consistently every single day, which of course at the time of purchasing, I'm like, yeah, I will fit this into my routine. I will red light therapy mask myself. But what they don't tell you is you have to do it on a clean face, like no makeup, no moisturizer, no nothing. So at some point in the day when you take all your makeup off, but before you put your skincare on, you have to do the LED mask. And there will be times where I'll come home, I'll take my makeup off, I'll do my skincare, I'll put my retinol on, and I'm like, oh no, now I can't do my LED mask. And I'm not going to wash my retinol off because, that stuff's not cheap. So I'll just skip the LED mask, and that just keeps consistently happening. Look, it feels nice. You can have a look in the video if you're watching to like look at my skin. Like it's not crazy good, and I'm actually wearing BB cream as well, so there's still lots of little blemishes, but it's not some miracle LED face mask. And I've heard that dermatologists have said 80% of skincare is the stuff you do at home with your like skincare serums and skincare products. So it's not really the fancy LED stuff. Not to say it doesn't work. I do think it can work, but is it worth like an extra amount of money? I would rather just buy like a nicer facial serum or a nicer retinol or a nicer sunscreen than an LED mask. So if you're weighing it up, don't get it. If you have surplus amounts of money and you're like, it'd be fun, it would be nice, go ahead. You could even, again, get one secondhand, but brand new, I don't know, girl. I don't know. $800? I don't know. Now, the third splurge that is not worth the money that I have also spent money on. Guys, I am saving you so much money with all these things that I have bought and they're not used. And the next one is the Apple Watch. Unless you work in like an industry where you're a teacher or you're a doctor or you're a nurse and you are out and about, and it would be unruly to pick up your phone when you're like, I don't know, doing CPR or something, you don't need an Apple Watch. And in fact, it felt like handcuffs to my phone. Like that is so dramatic, but it genuinely felt like handcuffs to my phone because no matter where I am, I'm getting texts, I'm getting notifications. So then I turned it off in the sense that I would only just see like the time and my little concentric circles, but then I wasn't working out, so I wasn't exactly using the circles. And then I was like, I just need a normal watch that can tell me the time. And then I'm just not good with charging things, and the Apple Watch would die so quickly, and I wasn't charging it as often. And eventually it just went and sat in the bottom of my drawer, and I ended up giving it to my mum. And I honestly think she did the same thing because I haven't seen that Apple Watch on her wrist either. Like if you use it and you love it and you get it. But unless you cannot just pick up your phone, do not worry about the Apple Watch. I much prefer my Oura Ring and a normal watch than an Apple Watch. I've just found that to be a lot better. And also, I'm not one to judge because I have like no fashion sense. But I remember when I had the Apple Watch, you do feel a little bit like a spy kid because it is so bulky when you go to weddings or if you get dressed up for something. It doesn't look part of the vibe. And that's coming from me. Apple Watch, that's unfortunately a no. Now, number 4 of things that are not worth the money are upgraded seats on a under 5-hour flight. If you are flying on a plane and you are going from like New Zealand to America and it is like 17 hours, I am not judging you for upgrading to premium economy or upgrading to whatever that costs. You go ahead. I am looking the other way. I am probably actually going to jump up with you and try and bid for an upgrade as well. Like you and me both, sister. But if you catch me sitting on a business class flight for a like 4-hour flight, that just is not worth the return on investment. Because first of all, are you going to be the asshole that like lays down on a 4-hour flight? Are you going to be the one that like gets the duvet out and is like, excuse me, like air hostess, can you lay my bed flat? I have to have like a quick 3-hour nap. It's unlikely. Second of all, short haul flights tend to be smaller planes. So it's not like most of those seats can lay flat anyway. So you're just sitting in like a fancy economy seat, like maybe a little bit more plush, space. And, there's exceptions. Maybe you're a very tall person and you need the extra leg room, or maybe you need to like jump off the plane faster or someone else is paying for it. But if you're weighing up spending that money when you're like checking in and it's like, hey, do you want to upgrade to like business class, but it's a short haul flight and it's like $400 more? The answer is no. The answer is I could spend that money on a really nice part of my vacation. I could explore or, I don't know, go watch like a Broadway show or just do something more that is a better experience for that money. Again, very different from a long haul flight, but short haul, sit me in economy, I'm totally fine. What is 3 hours of like zoning out? I'll be okay. The 5th thing that is not worth the money, this one's going to be a bit controversial. This is something I have spent money on. The Van Cleef Mother of Pearl bracelet was something that I had bought as part of my gift to myself when I had reached $1 million, which was a huge deal for me. And it meant a lot for me from a emotional standpoint or like a sentimental standpoint. But as part of like daily wear, it is just not a daily wear bracelet because the mother of pearl is not waterproof. Oh my God, this is such a first world problem. The mother of pearl is not waterproof. And so apparently the pearl would just like fall off. So you can't wear it in the shower. You can't wear it to the beach. You can't wear it to the pools. And as someone that does not like taking my jewelry on and off, I have found that I just do not wear it versus like a normal necklace that is like gold plated or just like a plain gold bangle or something. Or even like my Aura ring. Like if I can keep my Aura ring on, it stays on. If I have to take it off for the water, I will never wear it ever again. And that is just who I am. So if you are someone that likes nice things, but you try to stay a little bit low maintenance and you don't want to be taking your jewelry on and off and on and off and like, oh, I'm at the pool, I have to take it off, but I don't want to lose it. Just avoid the high fashion jewelry pieces that are not waterproof. And honestly, I feel like if I could have done it again, I think I still would have bought it just for the sentimental value. And it was so special to me back in like 2021. But 5 years later, I don't see myself wearing it often. And if it wasn't for the sentimental value, I honestly would have just like sold it on because I don't get enough wear out of it. And the cost per wear is pretty expensive if I'm not wearing it every single day. Now, number 6 is a expensive coffee machine. And before you exit out of this episode and go, Sim has no idea what she's talking about, hear me out. If you are one of those coffee connoisseurs, this one you can skip. I understand that you are not happy people unless your coffee is made a certain way, and you can taste the difference between drip coffee and filter coffee. And I personally still think you're lying, but I'll take it with a grain of salt. I understand you do your thing. Now, for the rest of us that cannot really taste the difference between like different Nespresso coffees or other coffees, or like you go to a cafe and you're like, it's coffee, like it's fine, then you don't really need an expensive coffee machine. Because in my household, we have my husband's coffee machine. He is one of those people that's like, it has to be a certain way. And then I have like my Nespresso coffee machine. And if you had put both in front of me and I taste them, they taste the exact same. Now, one machine was like $1,000 and the other machine was like $300. The coffees do not taste any different to me. So in my personal opinion, when we move and I have to buy a new coffee machine, I am not going for the expensive one. I'm going to get the cheapest little one with the button on it, and I just put it in and I press it and my coffee comes out, because I have other things to think about in my life. I do not want to be grinding my machine and then cleaning my machine and then temperature. No, I'm a millennial. I like a button. I press a button, my coffee comes. I press a button, my food comes. Like, I am the button generation. I'm just not interested. And so for the people like you and I, we both know we can't taste the difference. Well, why are we doing this to ourselves? Just get the cheaper coffee machine. It's low maintenance. And then you're not all like, oh, my coffee machine needs its service. Like, we're not worried about that. We're just moving on. Number 7, guys, I'm saving you so much money. Number 7 is not splurging on expensive outdoor furniture. Now, I cannot stress to you how much I love a coffee outside on my furniture in the morning, just relaxing Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, whenever I can. I like sitting outside having a little cup of coffee. Never have I ever said, this would be a lot better if the outdoor piece of furniture that I was sitting on cost 3 times more. Because in all honesty, the furniture is going to get wet. It's going to get dirty. The wind will move things around. And it is just so much easier to have a medium expensed outdoor piece of furniture. Not the like super, super cheap stuff, but I've also done the super cheap stuff. I've also done the medium-sized cheap stuff. And I have never been able to convince myself to spend more. And when I have gone to people's homes that have spent more, I don't notice a difference. Honestly, sometimes I see the cost of some outdoor furniture pieces and it's like $4,000. You are not going to sit outside every single day and go, I am so glad that my outdoor furniture set is like real oak. Do you know what I mean? I don't even think it would be oak, but the idea is it doesn't seem to have the same return on investment. And again, these things are going to get wet. And if you've got such precious furniture that you're always like, oh my God, the rain's coming, let's move it away. Like, it's just another thing to worry about. And so it is just on my list of things that you will not see me spending crazy amounts of money on outdoor furniture. Now, the 8th thing that is not worth spending your money on is a brand new car. This is probably one that you might have heard before, but I cannot stress the importance of even getting a car that is just 2 years old, because if you get a car that is 2 years old, you will at least see a $5,000 to $10,000 reduction on the brand new price. And so you've saved yourself like 10 grand just for what? Buying a 2024 model instead of a 2026 model. Oh my God, I almost forgot what years we were in. It does not make sense. The day you leave the dealership with your brand new car, the value of it drops a couple of $1,000s instantly just driving off the dealership's like driveway. And yeah, it might be nice to have like a fresh car that smells good and it feels like no one's been in it, but you can also just get your 2-year-old car professionally cleaned and have the exact same experience. And I will take my car to the like car wash and just spray it out with those like fragrances that you can put under the mats, and suddenly it feels like a brand new car again. I honestly cannot stress the amount of money that you save just by going 2 years or 3 years after the like brand new date of a car. That way it's still brand new. The technology doesn't really tend to change, within 2 to 3 years time. More often than not, the like look of the model hasn't changed significantly either. So there's not many downsides, and there's so many plus sides of just, getting something slightly older, just ever so slightly. Number 9 of things that I do not think are worth the price. I'm honestly going to get blacklisted from so many brands. But it's okay. Ninja ice cream swirl maker, whatever it's called, the Ninja ice cream maker. Tell me why we bought 2 Ninja ice cream makers for 2 sets of our families, and then we got gifted one back, and it was just Ninja swirls for everyone for Christmas. Tell me why we never opened it up. Tell me why in an entire year we have never said, I'm really craving making an ice cream right now. And it is just such an expensive thing to not use as often. Maybe it would be different if we had like kids, or maybe it'd be different if there were like people in our house that liked ice cream as much, but I'm not a big sweets person. My husband is, and yet he's not really felt the need to use it. We gifted it to 2 of our family members that have kids, and I'll be honest, none of them have ever been like, Sim, that Ninja Swirl ice cream maker machine thing, thank you so much for it. It has taken up so much space on our bench, and it has been so worth it. So if you can save yourself a couple of $100, do not buy. I think it's more than a couple of $100. I think it's like $500, guys. Save yourself the headache. It is just another like marketing gimmick that seems really good in theory. Real everyday life, you're busy, you're working, you're coming home, you're stressed, and you're not like, I want to make vanilla ice cream with like strawberry sprinkles right now. You don't do it. Now, number 10, another brand that I'm going to be blacklisted from is La Mer products. La Mer is like Lamer, and I was gifted a La Mer moisturizer in like a gift bag when I went. It was like a JP Morgan or like Morgan Stanley Women in Wealth event. And so of course they were like, the women in wealth need expensive products. So they gave us a moisturizer. I used it. I hadn't heard of the brand before. I used it. It was nice. It was really nice. And then when it ran out, I was like, oh, I should let me like go and see if I can get it again. Tell me why the moisturizer was $600 at duty free at the airport. Like the absolute shock that I felt looking at this like 100 ml tub of moisturizer for $600, $900, like what is going on? And I liked it. It was nice moisturizer. But is it $600 worth nice? Is it $800 worth nice? Is it $900 worth nice? No, absolutely not. Like I just use my Neutrogena moisturizer. It does the job. My skin feels supple, and I'm saving so much money. The studies that I've looked at, because of course I've looked at studies when it comes to your skincare, is that the skincare that is worth spending money on is your serum and your actives, like your retinol, your AHA, BHA, your peels, all those things. Go ahead, spend money. Those are nice. Your moisturizer and your cleanser can be drugstore, because at the end of the day, what is in moisturizer that like has to be so special? It's just moisturizer. It's just got hyaluronic acid, plumps it up. You can get a very simple standard thing and it does the exact same thing. Same with your cleanser. It doesn't have to be special, it doesn't have to be bougie. And so by getting more drugstore budget-friendly products there, you can spend on the more active stuff. But that just pissed me off. I'm so sorry. But it goes to show there is really a market for anything, and no shade to anyone that has bought the Dyson Airwrap or the Ninja Swirl or the La Mer products or the expensive coffee machine or the Van Cleef bracelet. If you're sitting there like drinking your expensive coffee with your Van Cleef bracelet and your Dyson Airwrap hair and your like red light face mask and your Apple Watch, and you're like, this is a very rude episode. I do apologize. But this is for the girls that are weighing up if they should buy it or not, and just giving them the option to know that I do not think that these products are worth it. However, if you find them useful and if you find that they are helpful, let me know in the comments. I'm so happy for healthy and open debate and discussion. My last item that was not worth the money, drumroll please, a Birkin bag. Again, I feel like the Birkin falls into the same category as the Van Cleef bracelet, where it was a very sentimental purchase. It felt like a milestone purchase, like, oh my God, I'm in a financial position where I can afford this. Yay, let's buy it. But the day-to-day use of a Birkin, in the same way that the day-to-day use of a Van Cleef bracelet, it just did not fit with my day-to-day outfits, my day-to-day vibe. Like, I'm gonna go out in jeans and a black top. The Birkin is nice. The Birkin isn't that nice when I'm sitting in economy on my 4-hour flight. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really good in some instances where if I've got like a fancy business meeting and I want them to know, like, yes, I'm a young woman, but like, I know what I'm about. Don't mess with me. It's nice having a Birkin on my arm, won't lie. Sitting in seat 54B, the Birkin carry-on doesn't quite fit. And so as a result, I have found day to day that I get more use out of my Sabin Frankie bag that I've had for 6 years now. And that is so much cheaper than a Birkin, but I get more daily use out of it. I find it is just, it does the job. They both like are made out of real leather, so they both last. And I just wouldn't, I mean, actually do not quote me. I may buy another one in the future. Like, do not, if you see me with another Birkin or like a little Kelly on my hand, do not judge me. But is it worth the money? Of course not. Of course not. What was I thinking? And so with that, these are the 11 things that are not worth the splurges based on my experience. And if you avoid buying even like 5 or 10 of these things, you will have saved yourself hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So hopefully it was worth having a listen to. If there are other things that you believe have not been worth it, things that are above the like $200 mark and higher, then let me know. And please, 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 if you enjoy this episode, take a screenshot, put it on your Instagram story, tag friends that invest. It is the best way for us to grow the podcast, to reach more people. And what better world than a world where more women save money and get to be smarter with their finances. So with that, I'll see you next week.